Leduc, owner of Leduc Blueberries. The farm was initially purchased by my father, the original farm in 1955, where we started with 60 acres and 100 plants. And we've grown to 500 acres now and over 500,000 plants. So long ways from 1955. Well, good blueberry season starts with a normal to mild winter. So they come through the winter with very little stress, followed by a cool, prolonged spring and lots of moisture. And that's one thing Michigan has over any other state in the union. We have abundant, normal rainfall, which blueberries love a 5.5 to 6 pH, and that's pretty much where rainwater is versus well water that comes in at 7.2. So a lot of states will have to modify their water as they're irrigating. Michigan don't have to do that because we have most of our moisture that the plants take up is rainwater. So that makes a huge difference. Lake Michigan gives us a lot of protection from, it makes the spring a little bit later, which helps you out on frost, and it makes the winter come in a little later, which gives them a chance to go dormant. On most years, you get about a 15 to 20 mile lake protection from Lake Michigan, and that's why they're all on the east side of the lake and they're not on the west side of the lake. Oh, there's hundreds of varieties. They start in Florida and they have totally different varieties than Georgia, which has totally different varieties than North Carolina, New Jersey, Michigan. There's just hundreds of different varieties. So I always tell people if they tell me they don't like blueberries, I said you just haven't tried the right variety. You're totally dependent on labor. And labor is very, very fickle, and it's very competitive. You got growers out there. There's never enough really seasonal labor. So seasonal labor is the biggest challenge of getting the harvest off. We have a 500-acre farm, and you've got 300 employees that all come in a week before your harvest. So you have to house them, you have to train them, you have to do all your documentation for the government. It just takes a major effort to get that done. They'll start right around 8 o'clock. You try to time it so the dew's off a little bit. You can't get it all off, but otherwise they start too late in the day. But we usually start around 8 o'clock, and they'll go until about 7 at night before they start shutting down for the night. We have 2 harvesters, machine harvesters, but hand picking is still, the fruit is much better, has a lot less bruising. It's healthier for the bush because you're not hitting the bush with a mechanical arm. So we still try to do 50% of our harvest is by hand, and that's pretty much your fresh fruit. If it's machine fruit, it's usually processed for, we freeze them. It's for the bakeries, the canneries, the pie companies, that kind of stuff. But fresh berries are usually, 90% of the time, they are hand-picked. Well, the fruit comes in and it's hand-picked, for the retail. We weigh everything in, and then it goes through a blower, which if there's any leaves or anything that happen to get into the buckets from the pickers, it'll blow the leaves out. It goes through a dryer, which blows any of the dew off. And then it goes through an electronic soft and color sorter that takes out, you can set it for different adjustments to take different degrees of red, different degrees of green, and it also looks for soft. So it'll kick those out electronically. And then it goes on to a final inspection where you have, the human eye still to look for anything that the machine missed. And then it goes into a weigh filler that puts them in 5 or 10 pound boxes. My wife likes to keep a mixed bag of everything from muffins to pies to granola to blueberry jerky, barbecue sauce, blueberry mustard, anything blueberry coffee. She likes to sell it all. Well, the future, we continually look for new varieties that customers will like. So we're continually planting. We planted another field last fall, but you're always careful to not to plant too many of them because you want to test them out before you'll plant them commercially. So you're always looking for new varieties. We're always looking for new products. My wife is always, stretching the envelope of trying something new. So every year there's something new down at the store.